So I want to make two videos today. Two videos is going to be about the black pastors meeting up with Donald Trump, and the other video is going to be about me meeting Sister Soldier. She was having a book signing in Copley, that's in Boston. It was a public library and I went to it, and I'll tell you my experience with that. As we all know by now that Donald Trump met with 100 black pastors in a private meeting, and it caused a lot of headlines. A lot of people had different opinions about it, and this is my opinion about Donald Trump meeting with those pastors. The first point I want to make is money talks and bullshit walks. Unfortunately, that's just the society that we live in. And as we all know, Donald Trump has a lot of money. So he was able to buy these pastors. A lot of black people feel some type of way about that, but I'm like, that's your pastors. I mean, look at how the black community look like. There's a church on every corner. If the pastors and your preachers and whatever they are, whatever their title is, were doing their job, the black community wouldn't look the way it does. No one asks what happens to the tithe money. No one asks what they're doing with the tithe money. No one asks what bank is the tithe money in. We just give over the money, and we really think this money that we're giving to the pastors somehow shuffles into the hands of Jesus. Like, we give it to the pastor, and then the pastor takes it and gives it to Jesus. On some like childish mentality. I'm like, this is your hard-earned money. A lot of black people are poor going to these churches, and none of y'all at the slightest says, what happened to those 20 bucks I've been giving over the past 5 years? And I'm not even talking about the mega churches who rake in millions every service. But then again, that money probably going to a private jet, so you know. And a lot of people who have this conscious mind, whatever that means, are talking about, well, this is what your pastors do, this is how it is when you're a Christian. And I'm like, don't get it twisted. Your third eye, Ashe, Hotep, Shea Butter teachers would have done the same thing too if that was popular. If consciousness was as popular as Christianity, I'm pretty sure Trump would have pulled over your teachers and your intellects and your conscious-minded folks and pulled them over to the side and said, hey, I'm going to break you up a couple thousand. I need you to get your Ashe military, bang on the cracker. I need to get them to go vote for me. And trust and believe me, you probably would have done it. Don't think for a minute that you all would have said something different. Y'all would have chose something different. It just was, you weren't in the discussion. Consciousness wasn't in the discussion. Consciousness is not picking up as big as Christianity or Judaism or Islam. That's the only factor. But if there was a large segment of black people who were conscious or whatever that means, I'm pretty sure Trump would have tapped them to the side and said, hey, I need to have a few words with you. To talk about the black church, no one talks about the pastor who's sleeping with half the female congregation, or the choir director who is sweeter than swishers. No one talks about that though. I mean, we have dysfunction outside of the church and dysfunction within the church, but we don't want to talk about that. But we want to talk about Trump meeting up with these pastors as if the church is clean in itself. How many boys and girls have been molested or raped in the church? But we're not going to talk about that. How many people do we know who sin Monday through Saturday, but Sunday they want to be blessed? We don't want to talk about that. In the church, there's no more talk about sinning and redemption. Now it's all about religious jargon, makes you feel good, don't judge me. Because the pastor doesn't want to chastise you because that ties into his tithe money. He doesn't want to lose his money, so he's going to tell you whatever you want to hear. Like your girlfriends and like your dudes. They'll tell you whatever makes your ego stroke your ego for that money, and let you deal whatever issues that you have. Pastors don't minister like they used to no more. Pastors don't do counseling like they used to no more. It's all a scheme. It's all marketing. And they've done it well. But then again, it goes back to the flock and the congregation, because if they really wanted a change, if they really wanted insight and guidance, they wouldn't have let the pastor be the way he is for the last, 50 years? I mean, it is what it is. And back to Trump, I want to talk about, Trump just ripped out a page out of the Democratic book, or should I say the Dixiecrats. The Democrats been doing this for the longest, going to the black community, kissing black babies, going to the pastors. This ain't new. Margaret Sanger, a eugenicist, which the word eugenicist comes from good stock, meaning white stock. This racist, she went to black pastors to push Planned Parenthood, to push abortions. So the whole thou not shalt murder thing went totally out the window when the white woman came in and said, look, let me come holler at you. black pastors have been for sale for the longest. And if we really want to go back, we can go back to the plantation. There was one pastor, one person who was taught the Bible, taught how to read, so he can keep you conformed, so he can keep you happy or content working on the plantation. So this shit ain't new. This ain't new. It's just recycled bullshit schemes. And black people are falling for it, unfortunately. And then on top of that, black people have this thing where money means everything. I mean, forget a person's character. Forget what a person's done. If they got money, if they can stun, if they got nice cars, they got a lavish life, we have to be up on them. We have to cherish them. We have to put them on the highest of highs. In our colorism with white being right or the closest to white, you have a rich white man flossing. So black folks automatically look at him like he's Jesus. But the whole Jesus thing is a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. So I'm not surprised. I mean, this is the same reason why we listen to music that degrades us, but we feel like we must listen to and we must support these people who don't give a flying fuck about us and lets us know continuously in every song how much better they are than us. And we continue to bob our heads and listen to this music and are content with it because we feel like we're supporting ours, yet they don't support us. Back to the church being in disarray, like I said, with the whole pastors and people in the church molesting and raping these girls and boys. I mean, we had Eddie Long not too long ago get exposed for molesting these boys, and what did the congregation do? The congregation was, oh, not Eddie Long, and that's not right, and that's not true. They stand firm with the pedophile. They stood firm. They said, F those kids, I'm all about my pastor, my pimping pastor who has done nothing for me. Y'all probably took the bus and walked 15 miles to get to church in that mega church. And that guy couldn't pay your bills and make sure that you're alright. He couldn't even make sure at minimum that your kids were alright. But like I said, black people love a person who floss. Never mind their character. Never mind what they actually do. No, if they got the money, if they got the prestige, black people are always all up on them. But then again, if you were really living by your religious text, wasn't Jesus average? He wasn't flossing. He was riding mules. He didn't have it like that. He was a carpenter. He wasn't balling out of control. Yet, you know, that's the confliction. That is the contradiction with black folks in Christianity. But again, that's another video for another day. And back to the Dixiecrats, you have Hillary. Hillary is so tragic because she's doing everything she can to get the black vote. And in the beginning, early in the race, you could see that black people were starting to warm up to her, but black people totally casted her out. With her backing up Margaret Sanger and her being totally awkward, doing the nay-nay on Ellen, like really, really, I'm so over that song, but really, really, we're smarter than jigging and chucking and jiving. Like, we can actually talk and be logical. But of course they don't come to us on that because, I mean, if you look at how Obama got elected, we were just swooning because he was half-breed and he spoke well and he looked good and he danced. So we were all right with that for 2 terms. And now he's about to get out and he still hasn't done anything for black folks, and he's still not going to do anything for black folks. And we're still going to champion him like he's the best thing since sliced bread. But he can't even talk to us without him chastising us or trying to calm down the Negroes. Back to Hillary. Her husband was the first quote-unquote black president. That first quote-unquote black president is the reason why there's so many black men in the black community who are missing, who are in the prison system, because he's the guy who gave you 3 strikes and you're out. So applaud your first black president on that one. To sum this video up, I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, you can tell I'm just not surprised. It's like the same old story, trick, merry-go-round. I'm just like, am I the only one who sees this? Like, for real, you don't see this? You don't see this. I see it. It is what it is. Your pastor's been telling you, well, I don't know what to tell you. Your black leader's been telling you, well, I don't know what to tell you. You could have a brain of your own and say, you know, F this, I'm just going to go my own way and think for myself. But then again, it's easier to be led. I mean, like sheeps and cattle, I mean, black people have to be led. And no one else needs to be led but black people. As you can tell, I'm not a Christian, so this whole thing really doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not offended. Trump is a racist. He's an ageist. He's a sexist. He's all types of ists. And I'm not surprised. I mean, he's flossing his money, flossing his arrogance, flossing his white supremacy, flossing his white male privilege. He's just flossing. And he can do that. This is America. Do I think Donald Trump will actually make it to the presidency? No. I think he'll make it close. But Donald Trump reminds me of when you watch those television shows or the cartoons where there's that red button that will blow up the world. Donald Trump would be that person to blow up the world and be like, you're all fired, while the whole world blows up in a mushroom cloud. He would be that person to do that because of his arrogance and his ego. I hope he doesn't make it. I believe he won't. But, I mean, time will tell. I mean, if he really becomes president, the whole, world's going to end, America's going to go down. That's that day if he actually makes it to the White House. So that's my video. If you like this video, comment, rate, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Do you think Donald Trump is actually going to make it? Do you believe that Donald Trump meeting up with these black pastors was a good thing, was a bad thing? Would you have gone if you was a black pastor? What do you think about these black pastors? Do you think they're cooning, they're trading, whatever? So leave your feedback below and be blessed, because I'm out.